up? My name is Jason Miyashiro. Everybody else knows me as Kavika as well. My background here in Hilo has been training for about 13 years, and predominantly in Filipino and Indonesian martial arts. The first art that I've officially been a part of has been Arnis di Mano Kempo Karate, which is a Filipino martial art with influence of Shotokan Karate and Chinese Kempo. The second major art was Pancak Silat Manidmura, which is based out of Hilo, and taught by Leroy Pasalo. I've been with them for a number of years as well. Along the way, I've trained with anybody I can find is willing to train. I rolled around with jiu-jitsu guys, kickboxed with Thai boxers, boxed with boxers. I did just about anything I possibly could, and learn every day. Continue to learn, still learning. Found explosivehands.com, loved it, doing this thing. Alright, today I'll be showing you guys a few techniques, simple techniques that I hope you can get you started in any kind of weapons training you like. Exclusively at explosivehands.com. Okay, how's it going? My name is Kavika, this is Chris. This is going to be a knife demo exclusively for explosivehands.com. We're going to go over an introduction to blade orientation as well as the triangle theory and angles. First of all, we'd like to show you a bunch of different kinds of blades that we use. Filipino, Indonesian, whatever you can get, usually you grab. This right here is considered a drop point. It does come up a little bit. Some people call it something else, but it's not important. Basically a drop point. You can use a lot of different techniques with this, especially the pommel. This is a straight blade kanto style. Straight doesn't have that little loop that a drop point does. Again, other techniques can apply for this. What Chris is holding right here is called a krambit. This is a trainer, but they also make sharp versions. It's usually double-sided. This one is single. It's just a trainer. Its curved design can be held either like this, which is considered ice pick grip, or it can be held upright, which is considered a saber grip. And there's a lot of techniques that apply there. It's a predominantly Indonesian weapon. This right here, Chris has, is the balisong or butterfly knife. This one just so happens to be powder coated. It's nice and black, so you can't see it at night. There's a lot of different techniques that can be going over with this. Its primary use, though, is usually an impact weapon when it's closed. Opening is usually the last resort. Okay, the first thing we're going to go over is angles of attack. First angle of attack is always going to be coming. Number one, Filipino systems is always come from the right down. So, right, down, right. And then number two is from the left down. That's usually the two major angles that knives would come at. If somebody comes at you with it like this, which is a saber grip, and with a number one strike to either the temple, the face, the neck, whatever. You can block in this technique. This is a drill we call hubud-lubud in Filipino or Indonesian as well. You block the angle, you stop it, come around, control it, pin it down, and strike. This is a two-person drill. You can start doing this as well. 1, 2, cover, strike, block, move, cover, strike, block, move, cover, strike. Now from here, disarms can be implemented. You can always switch up to here, which is a technique that is known as the Puter Kabala in Indonesian. Filipinos, Judoka, Aikido, they all have this in there somewhere. This one you can control the wrist, come up, disarm the weapon. You can either grab the blade, which is more harm to you, but it's what we call an acceptable loss. Simply because you're maintaining control of the weapon versus dropping on the ground. There's other arm, you may go ahead and get it. Or you can do a non-positive disarm. Something like this, or you can grab the pommel and turn. Number two comes from here. The technique of hubud-lubud can still be done. Here, cover here, and watch for this. It's transition that way. Weapon is still, you know where it is. anytime you're doing any kind of knife technique or self-defense involving a weapon, there's several main principles that you want to go ahead and observe. Number one is isolation. You want to isolate the weapon. Isolation, then relocation. When you isolate, some people like to do disarms from here and stuff like that. It's more positive, you have more control if you relocate the weapon into an area that is not positive for your opponent, i.e. stretching him out or basically putting him in a compromising position. And the third step would be disarmament. Now when you do a disarm, it's important not to concentrate on getting the disarm. So you isolate, you relocate, and you disarm. If you don't get the disarm, say the knife slips, he drops it, or you just can't get it, he's too strong. You move on to the next technique. This is not going to be your primary target. Your primary target is disabling your opponent, whether it be hitting him in all his major sensory organs, or coming down and hit the more sensitive areas, depending on what you'd like to do with that, or with that, or with that. So main principles: isolation, relocation, disarmament. Not concentrating here. This is not a destination. This is just part of the journey, I guess you could say. Your main destination is eventually to gain control of this. So that's from number two, the number two angle. Isolation, relocation, disarmament, devastation, I guess you could say. Right, next we're going to go over the triangle theory. Triangle theory states that in every situation, you can always find a series of triangles. And triangles consist of 2 points that you connect. You can use either physical being, matter, or you can use air. What I mean by using air is if these 2 feet are planted, and I take his head and I put it on this imaginary third point, he falls down. So if somebody comes with a number 1 angle and an ice pick grip, as in trying to stab me, block, like kubud, isolate, redirect. Now the triangle for the disarm would be simply here. These 2 points of the knife are 2 points of the triangle. For the disarmament, you're trying to take 1 point and rotate it to that imaginary third point. When you do, the knife comes out. Now if you look here, 2 points of a triangle, you got several. Now 1, 2, 3. If you hit here and you push the elbow to the imaginary third point, the elbow breaks. The other is simply these 2 points here. As I rotate on that angle of the triangle, continue to rotate, his body turns. As his body turns, it becomes more vulnerable. That's simply called rotating the triangle, taking that same point and instead of crashing it through, you're rotating on its 2 other axes. It can be found in just about anything if you're doing hand-to-hand. Split entry, the triangle can be found again here. 2 points here, 1 down here. 1, 2, 3. If I bring this here, his head comes down. If I go to rotate the shoulders, 1, 2, 3, that becomes a triangle. I rotate, goes down. Triangles can be found in just about anything. Triangle theory, circle theory, square theory, they're all geometric, martial theories, they all work. They're all very important to your understanding of any concept.